Joining us at Comic-Con to talk about the all-new season of Doctor Who are Ncuti Gatwa, Millie Gibson, and showrunner Russell T. Davies. They stepped right out of the TARDIS onto this balcony and into ancient Rome, it seems. It was crazy. So, how are y'all doing today?
Great.
Great.
Excited.
I know, so excited to have you guys here. I want to first start by, we're on the balcony and Ncuti, so many people reacted, just like you being up here. Like, what is that like for you to be recognized as the Doctor now?
Oh, surreal.
Yeah.
Very, very surreal. Love it. Very, very much love it. But it's also really surreal getting recognized in America. Like, the show reaches so far and wide, and so it's cool. It's very cool.
Yeah. And what were you really excited, when you were cast in this season and everything, what were you excited to really bring to the Doctor?
Fun. I think I was excited to bring an element of fun and just explore through Russell's writing elements of the Doctor that we've not seen before. But mostly fun, adventure, bit of cheekiness.
We love a little cheekiness here. And Russell, actually, speaking of, what's it like to be back? Was there anything you were able to explore this time around with the Doctor that maybe you weren't?
There's always a new story to tell.
Yeah.
And when you work with actors you haven't worked with before, it's a whole new lease of life. I turn to them. I turn to these two. I watch these two. I watch the Rushes every day and get inspired by them and get a feed off them in a way. So it just feels new, and it never feels like going back. It just feels like going forward every time.
I love that. I really do. And what was it about Ncuti and Millie that you were like, yes, this is the Doctor, this is the companion?
Well, look. Sometimes my job is very, very easy. And I've got to say, you both got it in one audition each, didn't you? It's like, normally everyone does 15 auditions and they tell those stories about one, an instant yes. Brilliant.
Yeah. And Millie, as Ruby, I think a lot of your arc really has been about family and going back to your roots. What were you really excited to bring to that story that Ruby goes through?
I think just a whole new level of youthfulness in a companion, and I think Ruby has brought such an innocence to the show that you don't really see, and it's introducing a whole new generation and lots of countries apparently to the show. So yeah, it's crazy to represent that and to let them hop on her journey and hold their hand through the TARDIS.
No, and it's great, and I think something that's really, really fun about watching the two of you is they're best friends.
Yeah.
The Doctor and Ruby are best friends. And was that something that sort of just developed naturally out of your own friendship? Or what was that like to just have fun on set? And
Yeah.
The chemistry was flying, I think, at the audition.
Yeah.
I think I certainly got a real sense of where that dynamic was going to go. I got a sense of two very cheeky best friends at the back of the bus, back of the school bus. And I loved it. It was just fun. Fun adventure.
Yeah, I love that. And you can just, it just comes out so much. It's so fun.
Glad to.
And Russell, I think something that I think is really interesting is you're really known for kind of digging into the vault for some of the monsters to bring back. The Giggle was one of them.
Yeah.
What were there any others that you were excited to be they're back?
We did a big old return from the past, which is Sutek, the God of Death, which was an old 1976 Tom Baker monster who hasn't been seen for 40 odd years or something. So that was a joy.
Yeah.
But you also reinvent them. He comes back as the God of Death. He comes back as Ncuti's enemy, not Tom Baker's enemy. You bring them back, but you've got to give them something new as well, and something exciting, something for these two to bounce off. And my God, did you bounce off him? You dragged him through time and space.
Yeah.
It's there's always a rich heritage, but equally you turn around and you cast new things like Jinx Monsoon, Jonathan Groff as Rogue. There's always something new.
Actually, and it's really great that you brought up Rogue, because I think that something I really loved is I think this might be our first openly queer Doctor that we've seen on screen. So what was that like to have Jonathan on set and I don't know, what did that mean to all of you to get to explore that?
Jonathan was just light.
Jonathan.
Every time he came into a room, and he makes you feel like the most important person in that room.
The loveliest man.
Yeah, the
Loveliest
loveliest
man.
man. He's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Insanely talented. Gorgeous creature.
Yeah.
And in terms of the representation, I think the Doctor's an alien. He's alien sexual. It's
He's alien
Yeah.
It doesn't bother us for a second, and we barely talked about it. Actually,
Yeah.
it's 2024. It's what you do, and then you move forward again.
Yeah.
Keep going on.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I agree.
Absolutely.
Did Jonathan sing it all on set? I know he's a big musical theater guy, so.
He
Did
demanded
he sing?
payment.
Yeah, just was he
no,
just
demanded payment. Yeah. He needed to pay him a lot for
performance
that.
fee. Yeah, I get it. I
That
get
voice
it.
is worth $1 million.
It
It is worth $1 million.
And the show it's on Disney Plus now. What's that been like? Have you seen kind of this influx of maybe like newer fans who have never maybe seen the show before, and this is their first real experience with it?
I think
Yes.
so. I hope so.
Yes,
It's
gorgeous.
been like the fan art.
Yes.
And the
Fan
stuff
art,
from Worldwide
yeah.
is gorgeous, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just the accessibility of it all
Yeah.
as well is just incredible. Anyone can watch it now, and it just click of a button.
Yeah.
But fan art is incredible.
Yeah. It's a nice feeling, isn't it? Going on Worldwide.
Yeah.
All at the same time. It's nice. I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's so fun, and it's like I feel like I'm hearing a lot of like younger audiences are just like this is their
Yes.
first discovery of it, and I think that's so cool.
Yes, yeah. And in Britain, certainly, we're getting the biggest, youngest audience of any drama or any show on television. So, and that's the audience that's deserting television. So we're delighted. Yeah.
And on the topic of that, it's like I think Doctor Who's been around for so long, and it's had this longevity, and it's just brought something new for fans in every iteration of the Doctor. What do you think it is about the show that really grips people?
It's just an adventure with a big open heart, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I love the fact that the Doctor doesn't represent the military. It's not his job. He doesn't pay
No.
taxes. He doesn't have to report to a boss.
No.
You know, that's why I think young audiences like it. That's like a kid's life.
Yes.
Yeah.
He
Yes.
wants to
That's
go
so
outside and run
true.
through the fields
Yeah.
and never get called home.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's got that youth to it.
Yeah, and for fans who have been around for like forever, for all of time, one might say, we've seen a lot of really cool like appearances from fan favorite characters like Mel and Kate. Will we see any other cameos from fan favorites? Maybe some that we haven't seen yet.
If there were, I wouldn't tell you. So, so maybe there are. We're certainly going to see Mel again. We love Mel.
Yes.
Fun.
Yes.
Bonnie
Great.
Langford,
Mel.
ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, yeah.
Love our
How much do we
Bonnie.
love?
We love Bonnie Langford. Man, this is
She's
Doctor Who
amazing.
royalty.
Yeah, she
Royalty.
is.
Royalty.
She is.
She's life royalty.
She turned around to me one time on set and was like, "I think you're my fourth Doctor." I
Oh
was
my
like,
gosh.
"Wow."
Wow.
Oh.
And I do have to ask, because I know fans will want to know, who is Mrs. Flood?
Who is she, folks?
She's my
Let's just say it
neighbour.
now.
She's
your
She's
neighbour.
my neighbour.
She's
Ruby's
Ruby's
neighbour. Sometimes she stands on the roof in a white fur coat. Who doesn't do that?
Who doesn't do
down.
that?
I bet you have done that.
Yeah.
I've done that. certainly.
Now that we've covered the topic of the very normal, very regular, not secret at all, Mrs. Flood, I think that's all the time we have today. But thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll say thank you for taking the time
Oh.
Wait, go on.
to join us. You can catch Doctor Who on Disney Plus, and stick around for more Comic-Con right here on IGN.
Which won't be as good as us.
No.
Come on.